Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back to the live stream. This is Jesse getting started right at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, right on the dot as usual. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Here we are, knocking out live streams every single day that the stock market is open. Got a good one today. We're going to have to take a look at the stocks are dropping while Bitcoin has bounced. We expect bounces, but could the bounce be over soon? Right? Could the bounce be over soon? So that's what we're gonna take a look at. On the first half of the live stream, we'll always cover Bitcoin, altcoins first, and then stocks, and then we'll get into your chart requests second. Right? So chart requests, make sure to put in the ticker symbol. Make sure to put in the asset name. Is it crypto? Is it stock? Let me know all the details so that I can search for it quickly and keep the live streaming over here. So, obviously, none of this is financial advice. Obviously, this is for educational purposes only, and hopefully have a little bit of entertainment along the way. But with that, let's get rocking and rolling over here. Juan Junior 9283. Yes, I mean it's limited. Like StreamYard only has like 8 songs, and this is the best one that they have. If someone made me a song, I would play it. I would need the song for like 10 minutes long though, so it'd have to be a compilation of songs and not get flagged either, right? So I just play StreamYard song. Land Otako 3379, waste of time or no? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you new? So with that, kind of the quick recap is Bitcoin is in a bear market, obviously, right? Obviously, it's in a bear market. And we didn't just start talking about Bitcoin being in a bear market. If you've been following me for any length of time or you've been watching the live streams, good morning. Welcome back. London, UK, not so sexy news. Hello. AKA Lawrence. Good morning. LAC stock. Sure. Yeah. Stick around. We'll circle back later. But if you've been following me for any length of time, we put out the Bitcoin Wyckoff distribution on October 8th. In hindsight, that played out, even though the Wyckoff experts said, well, you didn't put the volume profile on the well, I don't like to clutter up the charts, especially if I'm posting on X. I'm not going to put in every single little detail on the chart because it confuses people, and it's hard to explain all the details on one chart post, right? So that's another reason why we do the live streams, is you get the full explanation. What's up, Salt Bag? Oh yeah, it's been a while. I haven't seen you comment in a while. October 10th, we put out the Bitcoin bear market roadmap based off the weekly chart. There is bearish divergence on the weekly chart. We covered it. We've been covering it every single day. And then over here, we were talking about, well, even before over here, we were talking about this is probably the last time you'll be able to sell your Bitcoin at $110,000 for a while. I'm pretty sure that was accurate, right? Probably the last time you're going to be able to sell your Bitcoin at $110,000 for a while. And what that meant to me was 2 years, maybe more, maybe less, but 2 years was kind of my thinking. Probably more, right? Probably longer, that you'd be able to sell your Bitcoin at $110,000. Over here, we're talking about it's getting oversold. Even in a bear market, we expect bounces. We expect relief rallies along the way. We were talking about it, and then over here, wick to wick, lasting 54 days. We had a 21.5% bounce that lasted 54 days. And then price started to reverse back around, got that sell signal below the trend line, right? It was breaking down in real time. We were talking about it. We covered it on that Taco Tuesday. There was a pending sell signal that turned into a sell signal. Candle closed below the not one but two trend lines and the trending dots. And then next thing you know, back testing, dropping. $81,000 Bitcoin. I said we could see a long squeeze, the opposite of a short squeeze, and we could see price go down to $66,000 very quickly. Not because I have a magic crystal ball, not because I can predict the future, but because there was billions of long liquidations all the way down to $66,000. In hindsight, that was accurate again. Price came down to $66,000 very quickly. At $66,000 is talking about, well, there's still hundreds of millions of long liquidations that we could see down to 60,000, 58,000. And then we saw the wick and profit taking at $60,000. It was prices getting oversold. The long liquidations were liquidated and the shorts were taking profits. And then we're expecting a bounce. And in hindsight, we've seen a 22.5% bounce from wick to wick. So far, 23.42%, 23.5%, call it. This wick is slightly lower. This wick was slightly lower than over here. Is the bounce over? Maybe. It's too early to call it, but maybe it's over. The stocks are dropping. The indices are dropping. They're rolling over in real time, which we've been covering it every step of the way, forecasting it. There was bearish divergence. We weren't predicting it, but we were forecasting it. We were speculating, even though none of this is financial advice, obviously, like we already said. Even though it's not a copy trading service, even though it's educational purposes only, we still forecast, we still speculate, and we'll never be 100% accurate. We will never be 100% accurate. But that's the recap of it. So we start seeing candle closes below. That's the higher probabilities that we're going to see much lower prices, right? So however the price action plays out, we've had it drawn out that could see the lower high, right? And then come back down. The timing of it, we can't predict the exact timing of it. But we've been talking about and speculating this similar move for all the way since back here on, so over 10 days now. Over 10 days that we were talking about this pump up, come back down, which it did, and then put in a lower high. However it plays out exactly, we don't know. But we've been talking about that for over 10 days now. Over 10 days, we've been looking at this very similar scenario playing out. So we'll see if it works out or not. But many bulls getting excited again. They got excited over here at 74,000. Price dropped back to 65. They got very excited again at 74,000. We're going to see if it's going to about to drop even further after today, right? It's putting in an ugly wick. We'll see how the candle closes, right? The candle close is more important than the wick, so it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see. How is it going to play out? The higher probabilities are breaking back below the trending dots and the trend lines, just like it was over here. This is the higher probability. Price breaking down, pending sell, below trending dots, below aggressive upward trend lines. And then this is more of a confirmation, sideways, back test, and then the bigger drop, right? Similar. Boom, breaking down, battling, and then boom, right? That's what we'll continue to watch over here every single day on the live streams. That's the replay. That's the recap. Stick around. We're still going to cover the weekly chart. We'll probably do way too much forecasting. We'll probably do way too much speculating, but that's what we do. And we have fun along the way. Jay the Geek 40, good morning. So glad I bought the elite package. I used the sharpshooter indicator, NASDAQ, NBIS. I'm up. Oh, dang. Nice. You're up 35,000. Yeah. Well, see, that's what I love to see. Jay the Geek up $74. Are you using the sharpshooter indicator on TradingView, or are you using it on our own charting system, or both? Right. Um, yeah, we'll have to take a look at it. NBIS. When did you sign up? And you're $49 a month, or did you do the annual and then you just made 35,000? Well, you're up 35. You haven't realized gains yet, right? So we'll take a look at it for sure. That's exciting. Congratulations. 35,000 and it's a $49 a month. I told you all the tools are underpriced. The recorded coaching itself, well, let's just get into it real quick and then we'll circle back to the weekly chart. So stay tuned. But you can find our website over here, Market Sniper Pro, or on Jesse Olson profile as well. And then come over here. We have our own charting system, right? This is under the features, the home plans. Plans, we only have one plan. It's $49 a month. You can do the annual, but we have our own dashboard. Setups when there's longs. I haven't been doing short setups because I don't think most people do short positions. Recorded coaching. This used to be $79 a month by itself. It's all included for $49 a month. Community. We still use Discord as a bridge, but we have our own online community that's similar to Discord. We still use TradingView as a bridge, but we have our own charting system on our own website that's similar to TradingView. That's, we're still using TradingView as a bridge though. And coming over here, oops, that was admin portal. Oops. We'll come back to it, but yep. So anyways, I just deleted the charting. I gotta log back in. I don't want to do it over here. Case excellence. Oh, okay, cool. Jada Geek on both. Yeah, I'm using both. Still use TradingView's bridge, and I've used TradingView for more than 6 years. I've been using TradingView. So still using TradingView, but more and more I'm going to our own charting system. At some point we won't even need TradingView. And our own charting system is built on Python. So I think Python is better than PineScript. And we're slowly proving that. But there's still things. TradingView's been around 6 years, and they just have some things dialed in more than what we can do right now. And I'm been comfortable with TradingView, so everything is still built on there as well. But I'm getting more and more comfortable with our own charting system. So eventually, one day we won't need TradingView. One day, eventually, we won't need Discord. But until then, it's all included for $49, so it doesn't really matter. Entered the position on February 5th. Awesome. That's a good long swing trade hold. So yeah, let's definitely take a look at that. Stick around, and we'll dive into all the details, buddy. So, yeah. So that's that. I should here. Let me see if I can log in off camera. Oops. Charting system. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're back in it. All right, we'll bring it back over. Yeah, so this is our own charting system. Very similar. But the thing is, we have all the indicators on here. So they were, what happened? Oops. Oh, Jesse. Oh, I accidentally deleted it. But it's all right. So there you go. I don't want to spend too much time on it anyways because we want to stick to the charts and give some actual real value over here versus just talking about our platform and all that stuff. So, but usually we spend like 5-10 minutes talking about it. Why? Because we don't do any. We've never taken $1 of affiliate money. We've never done scam tokens. We've never done uh, airdrops or scammed people whatsoever. Uh, there are a lot of scammers out there. That's not us. I've had a lot of impersonators scamming people for $1,000. Yet we only charge $49 a month. So be careful of imposters. Be careful of scammers. Um, we've never pump and dumped anybody. Never told them to buy X, Y, Z because we don't tell them to buy anything, right? Never buy. We never tell people to buy anything or sell anything. You have to make your own decisions in life and control your own destiny, right? So that's why we do the coaching part of it and recorded all those videos, 70 plus hours because you should learn to do it yourself. You should learn to make your own decisions and not just trust someone blindly. You should trust what you see on the charts. The charts are greater than noise. The charts are greater than narratives and the news, right? So, Mighty Kirk, what's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Cool, cool, cool. Got some market snipers in the house. Love to see it. It's awesome. So that's the daily chart on Bitcoin. We covered it. We've been covering it, right? We've been covering it. A lot of similarities. A lot of similarities. We'll see how it all unfolds in real time as we continue to cover it. Weekly chart. Let's get over the weekly chart. The bear market roadmap. Oh, am I in log? Okay. There we go. Oh yeah. Those they've literally done it the whole way and they will do it all the way and eventually they will be right. But by the time that they're right, could be 10 months total. We're 5 months into a bear market. They called the bottom over here. They called the bottom over here. They called the bottom over here. They'll call the bottom over here. And maybe they'll call the bottom over here, right? Eventually they will be right. But not today. Not today, right? So we didn't put all these targets out yesterday. We didn't put all these targets out in hindsight after they're already hit. We put all these targets on October 10th. Today, hold on. Live stream, I forgot. Oh man. Bad Jesse. Bad Jesse. I gotta text my brother happy birthday. Oops. Well, I was on baby detail this morning, so there you go. Happy birthday, big bro. He'll never see this live stream, but just texted him live. I forgot, and I looked at the clock or the calendar. Yeah, the clock on the computer, and I'm like, 3:13. Why do I know that date? 3:13. Oh, it's my brother's birthday. So happy birthday, big bro. You'll never see this live stream though. Just had to text him on live stream. Woo! Yeah, the bottom is in crew. Bottom is in crew. Bottom is in crew. Like I said, we put this out on October 10th. This is the bear market roadmap. We hit one longer term target. We hit two longer term targets. We hit three longer term targets. We got very close to hitting the fourth longer term target. In the previous bear market, we hit all 5 targets in 2022. Will it happen again? We don't know for sure, but we laid out the targets similar to 2022, and we had those targets in 2022 as well, and they all got hit, right? every single bear market has come back to retest the 200-week moving average at 58,867. We got very close to $60,000, but we haven't retested it yet. Every single bear market, price has gone below the 200-week moving average at least 30%. Will it do that? Will price go below the 200-week SMA again? We don't know. But if it does, that means the middle of target 4 would be hit at 55,000. If it does, it means the fifth target would be hit again. And price would be at $40,000. So there's a lot of reasons why it could. Will it? I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll have to find out. This is the red trending dots that where is my face _IG is talking about. And this is the trajectory of those trending dots, right? That I drew out yesterday on yesterday's live stream. So we'll just leave them there for now. But it's in a downward trend. And so the trajectory is downward, and it's going to take time for momentum to turn around. It's going to take time for momentum to turn around. So that's why I say we're in a bear market. And in a bear market, we expect bounces. We expect bounces. Over here, we were thinking that price would come back over and retest the trending dots. Price got very close. The trending dots are at 99,745. Price got up to 98,000. So not necessarily where is my face, but it got very close. It's more about letting the trending dots and the moving averages catch up, but there's no hard rule unless the market bosses, the market makers decide so, right? I'm not one of them. I'm not a market boss, right? But we try to be the cleaner fish of those sharks. If the market boss is a shark, we want to be the cleaner fish and swim alongside the sharks, and we'll pick up the scraps, right? So we don't pretend to be the sharks, but let us swim with the sharks and pick up those scraps and carve out a nice living, right? So one day we could be a shark, maybe, but that's not today. That's not today. I don't want a target on my back. So yeah, this is where we're at. We were kind of ahead of schedule, right? Big drop down. We never expect the fractal to be exactly the same, but big drop down, relief rally. In 2022, price actually went and closed above the trending dots while they were red and then reversed back down on that initial. This time it did not. So ahead of schedule over the fractals, bounce. Ahead of schedule, bounce, right? So it's currently ahead of schedule and letting the trending dots catch up. So that's where we're at in the weekly chart. A different look at it on the weekly chart is if you flip to line. We covered this on the last week. Last week, the price is all the way up here at 74,000 as well. And by the end of the week, it closed back here at 65,000. Similar to over here. And we even said it's still possible because we have yesterday we said we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Now we only have Saturday and Sunday, but could close over here and then start its descent, right? So we'll see how it plays out. Of course, it is always possible could retest the trending dots first before coming back down. So however the timing works out, we don't know. So we'll just keep an eye on it and keep speculating and see where we're at. But you see the overall trajectory of the trending dots and everything and how it could possibly play out. And let's go back to the candles. and we'll be ready to buy the right dip when we get to that point. This is showing bullish versions. So even though it's an opportunity zone below the 200-week moving average, I will still wait to buy the right dip. The buy of the right dip could be up here, could be down here where we have it mapped out, and it could be lower. And that's why I'm not going to dollar cost average. I'll wait to buy the right dip. So we'll see how it plays out. Just like we did January 4th, 2023 at 16,800, I bought the right dip, right? So let's go back to 2-week chart just to see the overall momentum, right? Red trending dots, bear market. Red trending dots, bear market. So green trending dots, right? Bull market. Red trending dots on the 3-week chart, bear market. Red trending dots, 3-week chart, bear market. So by the time it was starting to flip around, price was much closer to the trending dots. Trending dots were at like 25,000, and I was buying at 16,800, right? So we're about $30,000 away from it. So if it got within like, if the trending dots got within like here and price was down here, right, we'd probably be getting closer and closer. That's going to take some time to play out. Monthly chart. Is it? Buy the right dip. Buy the right dip. It's a better time than at 126, but I'm still waiting to buy the right dip. Sell signal on the monthly chart. Sell signal on the monthly chart. Bear market. Obviously, it's very lagging, and we are way ahead of it. We anticipated it. We didn't predict it, but we anticipated the move. We mapped it out. There was a lot of similarities to 2022 at the top, and that 2022 fractal is still playing out similarly, even though we don't expect it to play out exactly. So that's Bitcoin. A couple things that we keep pointing out in every single live stream. Bitcoin versus gold, monthly chart. Oh, wrong one. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. Never in the history of Bitcoin have we ever seen a 200-week SMA downward sloping. So that's bearish. That's not bullish. So we'll see how it plays out. And then, of course, never in the history of Bitcoin versus gold have we seen a monthly RSI close at 34, right? So we drew this out early in the month, and that's kind of where we're at right now. So if it plays out similar to over here and similar from this bottom to this bottom was 48 months. This bottom to this bottom was 47 months. This bottom to possibly this bottom would be 46 months. So we'll continue to see it broke this 11-year downward trend line, broke this 7-year downward trend line, closed below it. That's not bullish. That's bearish. So we're going to keep an eye on it. Bitcoin versus the euro already tagged the 200-week SMA and went below it. And we're going to switch gears over to Ethereum. Never in the history of Ethereum have we seen, there hasn't been a long history of Ethereum, but we've never seen a downward sloping 200-week SMA, just like Bitcoin, just like these other altcoins. These other altcoins are also have a downward sloping 200-week SMA. Bitcoin versus gold also has it. Bitcoin versus the dollar does not yet. But if it does, the buy the dip crew / hodlers / DCA crew, may not enjoy it too much while there's a downward sloping 200-week SMA. So we're going to be continuing to report on it, continue to talk about it, and that's where we're at right now. XRP, similar thoughts. No downward sloping 200-week SMA yet. Let's go to the weekly chart though. Weekly chart got very close to hitting it, got within 2 cents, but hasn't hit it yet. In hindsight, it looks like it did because the SMA is now higher, but it did not actually hit it at the time. Chainlink, downward sloping 200, bear market since 2021. Cardano, same thing, downward sloping 200, bear market since 2021. Algo, expect bounces. Expect bounces. It's possible we see a bounce into the trending dots. Possible. Near is getting near the trending dots, right? So we've been watching near, and it got very close to the trending dots, but hasn't hit it quite yet. So we'll keep an eye on it. But overall still a downtrend. Whew. What else? Not much really to report on MicroStrategy, but still below the 200-week SMA. The canary in the coal mine, right? The canary in the coal mine. MicroStrategy got very close to the 200-week SMA, like Bitcoin, back in January, pumped all the way up, and then reversed back down, never retesting the trending dots. Will Bitcoin be different? Maybe, maybe not. So we'll see if it closes like this on Bitcoin, where it's a wick, closes lower, and then we see lower prices after that, right? So it still could be this week, next week, 2, 3. So that would be 3 more weeks, right? So this week, say if it closed at $70,000 and it looked very similar to MicroStrategy, right? And then next week closed at 68. Next week takes out that pivot low, 64,800. And then that next week, so maybe the beginning of April, we could see target 4 get hit. We could see the 200-week SMA get hit. So that could be the timing of it. Very similar to the canary in the coal mine MicroStrategy. So, right? Boom, boom, boom. Big move down. So that's where we're at. We'll come back to the NASDAQ and SP 500 when we switch over to the Magnificent Seven. The dollar continues to be bullish. We've been covering it. We've been talking about the bullish divergence at the bottom, higher low. This was that was actually additional bullish divergence, right? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that was slight bullish divergence. So you could call that bullish divergence all the way to here, right? That's all bullish divergence. It was bullish divergence. It was additional bullish divergence. And then we talked about the pending buy signal in the weekly chart. We covered it in real time at 98.65 on the breakout on the live stream. And I posted a chart on X while it was a pending buy signal. Came back for a back test on the live stream this week, and then pushed off and is bullish, pushing up. We just hit 100.105. A close above this pivot point today, that's bullish. That's a higher high. So if this is the low, this is a double bottom, right? This would be a higher high, taking out that pivot point, taking out this pivot point, taking out that pivot point. So that's where we're at on the dollar. Ultra bullish on the daily chart. Starting to rock and roll. We talked about the buy signal. Bada bing, bada boom. VIX is kind of flat, failing forward, was down at 24.7. Bulls were most likely. I'm sure the Bulls were celebrating every single wick, right? Every single wick, but it's all about how the candle closes, in my opinion. So patience. US oil, ultra bullish. Remember over here, pump and dump, but it was a correction of that huge move up. And here price is back to 96.8. People are celebrating that money was going to flow back into stocks, right? And here we are. Here we are. Weekly chart is still ultra bullish. Daily chart, all that stuff. So there's that. Palladium. Let's go to Magnificent 7. Not looking so magnificent today. Meta weekly chart. The top is in. This was bearish divergence. That's a double-ish top. It's a rounding top, right? Lower high. Lower high. So a lot of gaps. We were talking about it back here, and we're buying the dip at like 146, right? Well, the top is in now. That's the initial drop. That's the relief rally. And knocking out, knocking out small gaps. These are larger gaps down here. You can see it on the daily chart better. These are small gaps, but 13% gap. I guess it was partially filled on 13% gap, but over here, 10%, 17% gap. We mapped those out at the very beginning when we were buying that dip at 146, based off the weekly chart and the daily chart. Will these gaps get filled? Possibly. I think a lot of people would be surprised. So, I mean, I was surprised when we were buying the dip at 146. The price went all the way up to 798. That surprised me. Like, we expected a big move, but to be honest, I probably didn't expect a big move beyond $500. So here we are at 617, and it just looks like we're going to come back down to those areas. So daily chart is bearish. It's dropping. Weekly chart is bearish. Bearish divergence. 2-week chart, probably bearish. It is, right? 200-week SMA is at 437 and climbing, or whatever it is, 435. And a retest of the 200-week SMA, probably most likely is going to be retested. since that breakout over here, didn't spend too much time around it. So just broke through it and just smashed. 3-week chart, pending buy signal on the 3-week chart, red trending dot. So sell signal on the 3-week chart for Meta, red trending dot, went into a bear market. Not only retested the 200, but went below it. 62% below it. That is a possibility. 49% fills that gap, or 50% fills that gap. 50% below the 200-week SMA fills that gap. 65% drop below the 200-week SMA at 155 fills that 17% gap. It's possible. It's possible. And if you go from this week, from wick to wick, 77%. Wick to wick, 81%, call it 80.77, 81%. That's not unheard of. That just happened in 2022. So pending sell signal on the 3-week chart, multiple closes below the trending dots, red trending dot, sell signal, red trending dots, right? So Meta's going down. The top is in on Meta. Monthly chart, never closed below the trending dots in a bull run. Closed below it over here in February 2022, right? So it has all the confirmations one would need to say that Meta has entered a bear market. But we've been talking about it way longer than now. But I guarantee without looking at the indicator, this is probably bearish divergence, and this is probably a lower high. Correct, Jesse, correct. Bearish divergence, lower high. I've just been staring at charts too long. I just know that most likely this is bearish divergence, and it was on the monthly chart. I've seen it over and over and over and over again that I don't even need to look at the second indicator and probably guess that it was probably bearish divergence, right? And it was bearish divergence, lower high. That is the higher probability that the top is in. And it's a monthly chart. And people are probably still calling for $8,000 Meta, right? But we know different. We know better than many, right? So there you go. That's Meta. Woo! We're cooking today. 9:43. Daily chart breaking down. Oh, that's a weekly chart. Let's stay there for a second. Microsoft bear market. It almost hit the 200-week SMA. Let's get the daily chart. There we go. Boom. We drew this out back here over a month ago, right? We were talking about filling this gap at the top. It filled the gap. But we talked about it filling the gap this whole entire time, right? Apple can definitely. Yesterday we talked about I could text my mom saying I told you that we locked in Apple at a 30% gain, even though she told me, she texted me up here, oh, Apple, we could have pushed Apple further. Now I could say, oh, I told you, Mom. I told you I was right. We locked in 30% gain over here. I don't watch my mom's account all day, every day. And I don't manage her retirement at all. I don't want to do any of that. I have no desire, but Apple, ANF, SMI, SMCI, PLTR, TQQQQQQ dropping. Am I going to close out my puts? It's already March 13th. They expired on the 20th. Time decay is kicking in and will continue to kick in by the end. By the closer we get to the expiration date, the more the time decay kicks in. So I want to hold my puts, but I might have to close them out today. It might be max value today. Could wake up on Monday and they be it and price is at $42 or $40 or $38, but maybe not. Maybe wake up on Monday and it's back at 49 and then I don't even make that much money after all this time. So those are the decisions you have to make. I bought those puts a while back and now they expire March 20th and I don't think I want to roll them. And I don't know if I want to hold them over the weekend again. Again, a pretty good drop right now. I'd probably have to make a decision based off of a lower time frame. There's not much holding it after this level. I don't know. I'll have to make a decision today. uh, but they're looking good right now. NVIDIA holding on, but red trailing dots had the sell signal. It would be a pending buy below the trailing dots, so that's not good for bulls. Daily chart could have another bearish engulfing candle. That's not good for bulls. Amazon, the whole market's dropping, right? This could be a lower high. This gap might not get filled for a while. Russell 2000 broke out of the upward had bearish divergence, broke out of the upward channel, came back for a back test, got rejected, and is resuming lower. That's not bullish. Woo! We got to keep rocking and rolling. NASDAQ, one target again, one target again. The probabilities continue to increase that we're going to hit more targets. Close below target 1, the probabilities will be really high that we hit target 2. Close below target 2, the probabilities will be really high that we hit target 3. Speaking of which, Dow Jones Transportation is sometimes the canary in the coal mine and has already hit target 2. So will the NASDAQ, SP 500, Dow Jones, and Russell also hit target 2? Probably. Dow Jones Transportation already hit target 2 and is the canary in the coal mine a lot for the indices. So it's already hit, put out this crazy fractal of maybe it's a relief rally, maybe it continues down, maybe it dips down below it and then comes back up. Right? Maybe it's more like that. So we'll see. We'll see. But right now it's breaking down and we'll see how it plays out. It's in target 2 right now. Dow Jones, maybe Dow Jones already hit target 2. I don't know. I have to remap it out. But the 200-week SMA is definitely on the table. It's getting oversold on the daily chart, though. Weekly chart is bearish. Weekly chart had a sell signal. Weekly chart had a sell signal, right? So Tesla still bearish on the daily and weekly chart, but expecting bounces along the way. Looks very similar to the Wyckoff distribution that I did on Bitcoin for Tesla. covered dollar, covered Netflix, all of that. So we put this fractal out on the pending buy signal back here on February 25th. Looks very similar, right? We never expected to play out exactly the same, but it looks very similar. I forget which fractal we used. One of the other stocks that was doing something similar. Let's pivot and do some of the chart requests. And in the meantime, we will take a look at Bitcoin. Still holding on for right now. Let's cue the music. The comments and search for it. Jesse wants ticker symbol TGI. No. Good one, Jesse. Yeah, thanks for putting in the details. Yeah, so Lithium Americas Corp has been in a bear market since 2021, and you have this big gap that looks like it wants to get filled. I mean, at least it looks like a big gap. We can measure it out, but that gap, wick to wick, 56% gap. Seems like that gap is going to get filled. That's a massive gap. 56%. Woo-wee. Earnings today, estimate. So are they front running it? I don't know. Weekly chart is bearish. 2-week chart is bearish. 3-week chart and the monthly chart look like they're going to flip back bearish again. You're down below the 200-week SMA. The 200-week SMA is downward sloping. It all things point to that price to come back and probably fill that gap. Will it put in another higher low? Possibly, right? Got rejected at the 200. So you have a low, you have a slightly higher low, price pumps up, comes back down, maybe puts in another slightly higher low, and then flips around, right? So could take some time. If you're bullish on, it's possible you might get a better entry at say 450, fill the gap, maybe lower, and then it just takes some time, right? But right now it just looks bearish right now. So that's about it. The negative earnings doesn't help. I don't trade based off of earnings whatsoever because they'll do the opposite. But doesn't mean I don't take a glance at it and be like, well, there's not a lot to be positive about. If it was like 2 years of perfect positive earnings and it was still in the bear market for 5 years like some other stocks have been, I would be looking for like that reversal of buy the right dip, but there's a lot of things going against Lithium Americas on this chart. So, what else? So, the monthly chart is still bullish. Could the top be in? Maybe. The top could be in at 141. But even though it was going through a consolidation, we were talking about, it was putting lower highs, lower lows. But here was kind of the line in the sand for me. And you must have had me take a look at this in the past because this trend line was already drawn, breaking out, come back down again, battle, battle, battle. And now it's taking out these pivot points. So this is a higher low. And now this is a higher high so far already, right? So, a little smiley face. So, put some hair on it. There you go. Oh, great. Great drawing, Jesse. What are you, 20 months old? So the higher low, the higher high, that's positive. It's bullish on the daily chart. Could it at least retest up here? Sure. Right? That seems logical. Weekly chart, pending buy signal. There was red trending dots, but they could be pushed back up. So that's kind of the nature of the consolidation, right? And it's not like Bitcoin did have red trending dots on the weekly chart through a couple of times on the bull market. So it could still be in a bull market with the red trending dots on the weekly chart. So that's why I also look at the 2-week chart. Still green trending dots, still never closed below it, right? Pushing back up, bullish engulfing candle. These are all positives. 3-week chart hasn't even retested the trending dots yet. So it's possible the 3-week chart puts in bearish divergence, meaning higher prices. Monthly chart hasn't retested the trending dots. It's possible there's bearish divergence created on the monthly chart, which means higher prices. So there are several reasons why it's still bullish, but could the top be in? Possibly. That's a pure guess at this point. So just being aware that, realized gains are better than unrealized gains. So I'm not sure about your overall position, but if you can, buy low and then sell into FOMO, then can't go wrong locking in gains, right? And not chasing or locking in gains and then feeling the FOMO when price keeps pumping and jumping back in, and that's when you make a mistake, right? And you give back all those gains. So yeah, we're almost done, but you can watch the replay. I think that's it for requests. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So with that, I think we're going to call it here. Thanks for all of your support. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Spend some time with your friends and family if you can. Get outside if you can, as long as it's not like minus 20 degrees out wherever you're at. Here it's going to be a hot one, mid 80s, high 80s here. And we're in March, baby. Even in the summertime, we don't see those high of temperatures that often in Southern California. But if you can get outside, awesome. Hopefully, it's a little bit warmer where you're at. Spend some time with the family and friends. And I'll be daddy daycare with the baby this afternoon once the nanny goes home for the weekend. And I'll take her to the park. We'll have some good times. And with that, have a good rest of your day. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on the next one. Adios.